You learned cloud. Maybe you have 2 or 3 certifications. Is that enough for cloud solutions architect jobs? No. In this video, I'm going to go over some of the other critical skills you need to have as an SA. How do I know about all this? Hello guys and girls, my name is Raj. I have been a solutions architect for over 9 years. First at Verizon and now at AWS. I have delivered multiple world-scale projects, presented all over the world, and more importantly, helped many students get SA jobs at AWS and other top companies. When you start working on an application, no one is going to ask, "Hey Mr. Architect, what is S3? How many storage tiers are there?" Instead, you have to derive what services you need to use from ambiguous requirements. No one is going to give you all the answer. If the team members already know the exact requirements and the exact services they need to use, there is no need for solutions architect. You have to consider the pros and cons of different factors and come up with the design. Maybe the application team needs a design like this, or maybe this, or maybe this. So this is the first critical skill that a SA needs to have: system design or creating solutions. It's even in our title, solutions architect. We must be able to derive solution from chaos and ambiguity. Just knowing the services individually is not enough. You must be able to put those services together based on different design factors and project requirements. All right, at this point, you created your perfectly beautiful design that you think is best, and you are so proud of it. You imagine you are the tech Jesus of the cloud, and you give this design to the senior VP, and senior VP says, "Thank you so much, Mr. Architect, you are the best." Not really. In reality, there are a lot of complexities. There may be a random manager who hates your manager who might be saying, "This design is garbage. It is not secure, it doesn't follow our company policy, this architect is no good." Upon receiving this feedback, you have 2 options. One is you can go to this website called Blind, and then you can complain about your company, work culture, and your senior VP and the other manager. Or, like a true architect, you embark on this mission of getting your design implemented in production. But let's be real. At the end of the day, executives do have the money, and there are multiple projects that need this time and budget. Why should this company executive give the company funding to your project? After all, 2 years back, you are the one who told him blockchain is going to be big, and we all know what happened afterwards. This executive said, "You want some of this money? You have to convince me." And in your path, you may face some detractors who may hate your design or may hate you. Does not matter. If you are lucky, you may have a champion who likes your design. And there will be a lot of undecided good people. And you will be telling yourself, "Oh my God, what's wrong with these people? My design is so beautiful and so perfect. Why can't these people see it?" Because it's not their job to understand the pros and cons of each system design. You, as a solutions architect, needs to influence this wide variety of people, which brings me to the next skill an architect should have: executive communication. You must be able to talk strategically to management and technically to other team members. You should be comfortable leveling your conversation up or down based on the audience. If you just tell a bunch of technical mumbo jumbo to these executives, you will lose him and he will ignore you. So when you are talking to the executives, you have to explain the strategic and business advantages of this design. As a solutions architect, no one reports to you, yet you need to influence a large audience. That's also part of the reason SAs get paid pretty well. All right, so let's say at this point, executives say, "All right, Mr. Architect, you may have some funding, go forward and implement this design." So you take your perfectly beautiful design and go to the application lead and say, "Hey, Mr. Application Lead, implement this on AWS." The application lead says, "How do I even do this thing?" And as I say, you cannot say, "It's not my job, you have to figure it out and do it." As a solutions architect, you have to show the path. You have to lead the way. You have to create the spark. Which brings me to the next skill that SIs must have. You must know how to create a proof of concept to show to the application team. It really helps if you know how to write infrastructure as code, at least one of them. Because you could show them in a console, but that's not scalable. You cannot go show everything in console every time they need. You need something that is replicated and scaled easily across many projects and many teams. Once this infrastructure as code is written, any team can run it and deploy the infrastructure that you created on AWS. It will also be helpful if you understand Git. Almost all companies, big or small, use Git-based repository. So once you create this infrastructure as code, then if you can push it to Git, it makes the jobs easier for the application team. Because application teams work with platform or infrastructure teams. They can easily take this infrastructure as code and implement it to their DevOps practices. As an application architect or a solutions architect at AWS, you are not expected to create DevOps pipelines, but as I say, it helps you to talk with those teams. So if you understand the basic DevOps, infrastructure as code, and Git, you get much more respect and it becomes easier to influence. Okay, so at this point, your proof of concept is implemented. Now, I know what you guys and girls are thinking. There is one more skill which comes up a lot these days. Should I learn it? I will just leave it at that, and I'll see you guys and girls in the next video. Bye.